listening.
Why are we doing this podcast?
பாலகிருஷ்ணன் இல்லை அவர் பலான கிருஷ்ணன்.
ஐயோ என்ன பேச விடுங்கப்பா.
You are listening to Why Like That. There's always two sides to a story.
நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கொண்டிருப்பது Why Like That வலையொலி.
எல்லா கதைக்கும் இருக்கு
இரண்டு பக்கம். எல்லா கதைக்கும் இருக்குது ரெண்டு சைட்.
ரெண்டு பக்கம்.
ரெண்டு பக்கம். ஓகே, சாரி, நாங்கள் வந்து சரி ஒரு சாரி தமிழில் பேசுகிறேன். we actually did a rap song. Like
it's not a complete one, it's just first 4 lines.
Rap on the go. So they were rapping lah. I gave the lines but I couldn't rap.
I love that.
So here and there I try to practice that.
Amazing.
Okay.
Anyways, shall we go on to the show?
Yeah, it's we already in the show. We are still with
Mary
Victor, and previously we were speaking about how we were the main takeaway point there was cancel Tough Club. Tough Club should never have existed in the first place.
Change the system.
And I feel so angry that it just hit me.
I mean, the thing is like, especially when you're not in the Tough Club, it doesn't really hit you or make you understand why people do this and what kind of torture this is. But I think once you're in it, you really feel that shame and it sticks to you as you grow older.
It's a trauma.
Yeah, it's a trauma. So it's the unfortunate thing lah. Tough Club, Trauma Club.
Trauma Club, yeah. Okay, so now we will come to the main
the makeup portion.
Yeah, main profession.
Okay.
Makeup artist. How did this journey start?
Well, this is very interesting because I think my journey is a little bit unconventional. So I started at 16.
Oh,
but
okay.
But before that, I was always skipping school to stay at home and play with makeup.
Okay.
And it was something that I did religiously. And I had a bad school attendance. It's the funniest thing. Teachers always be like, you are going to fail if you don't keep coming to school. I'm like, but I love makeup. Just let me stay home and play with makeup.
Okay, Cristiano Ronaldo said that...
Say what?
Say what?
He said, I'm going to be the best football player when the teacher said he will fail.
See?
Yeah.
See? Iconic. Don't listen to teachers.
Listen to Cristiano Ronaldo.
That is 1 in a million will happen. Okay, you can lower down my mic. Okay, thanks.
I won't increase your volume anymore. Okay. So you were skipping school for makeup.
Yes. So at 16, after graduating secondary school, I was like, okay, I'm going to get my diploma in makeup. And there was one school, only one school doing that. And it was Cosmoprof Academy.
Oh, okay.
And they were doing a diploma so that you could professionally do this. And I was ecstatic about it. So I got in there and got my diploma in 3 months.
So I'm sure you got all A's for that.
I got a high score for sure. For sure. Funniest thing was that I had a lot of opinions about that school because I felt like the school's teachings were too old school.
Old school, okay.
Yeah. So I was like, this school's bullshit, but you know what? It got me my cert.
Okay.
And then I immediately went into fashion and media straight away at 16. So
at 16, you already finished your diploma? So
yes, correct. It was only a 3 months diploma. It was something that you get very quickly because the thing about makeup is that you just have to learn the basics. The rest is up to your creativity. So just 3 months of just learning how to get your foundations right. And then next is just being creative, getting jobs, getting booked.
Well, I took 3 years to finish my diploma.
Yeah, I feel you. So which is why I started really early. So 16 was the same year I got my diploma. At the same year I started working.
I'm sure you'll be the youngest diploma holder, right?
I don't think so lah. But it's nice to think that.
Okay, but I'm assuming that if you could straight away go for this private diploma,
Yeah.
your parents were supportive of it too.
So I only had a mom and she was not exactly supportive of it because she was like, why aren't you going to do further studies? And why aren't you doing this and do it? I'm like, listen, I love makeup. And my next step, because I was a normal technical stream. So the next step would have to go to IT.
ITE.
Yeah.
So what I did was I went to ITE to just understand like what courses they had. See if
They
I
have the
could.
beauty course, right?
They have a beauty course, but it's absolutely not what I wanted to do. It was just mostly like the spas and learning how to do facials. I'm like, this is not my thing.
This is bullshit.
This is like absolutely bullshit for me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna just create my own business. And at 16, I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a brand, create the space to be a makeup artist. So that's how I started. My mom was not supportive of it, but I was like, I'm not gonna listen to you. I'm just gonna do it anyway. And I told her this I said that in 2 years, if I don't get successful, if I don't fail,
Don't get where you
but-
want.
yeah,
to
if I
be.
fail,
I'll leave the house.
I wish I could say that. But I said that I'll come and do my O levels. I'll study for my O levels if I fail. But I guess I did it. It's been 11 years. So
Is there
Okay.
any degree in it? Because she say further your studies means if there is you should I'm
Diploma
sure you will.
degree.
you mean the degree for makeup?
Yes.
There's no degree for makeup.
I know. Every day you have to do report for a degree. What will you report?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I understand. So how from there you went to work for someone or
From there, it's all about personal branding.
Okay.
So I had to be like a entrepreneur at a really young age. So I had to go out, put myself out there, contact production companies, contact fashion industries, talk to people, talk to brands, really put my name out there. I think that's the main thing that you have to do as a makeup artist often. Like you really have to put yourself out there, network as much as you can, because otherwise you're not going to get anywhere. So lots of that.
That's how you have to build up your portfolio.
Absolutely. So
Yep.
you have to do a lot of free. When I started out, I was only getting paid like $50 a day for like 12 hours of work. That's so little money, and like
is
you
it like
can't-
shoot 12 hours of shoot? Okay.
12 hours of shoot, and it was just exhausting. I'm like, this is so little money, but it got me the contact that I needed. And then eventually I started doing for TV shows and then fashion shows, and then it started growing a lot more. And then now it's mostly like commercials and fashion shoots
Good to
and
hear.
different
Anyway,
kinds.
at the back of your mind, of course, you would have, you have the extra fire to prove your mom wrong.
Absolutely. That was there all the time. I was like, I am going to prove this woman wrong. And she never disturbs me anymore because
Oh.
there's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
She partially knows what I do, but then she doesn't know that I coach. She doesn't know that I model. So other streams of income as well. So it's like, she's just like, oh, she's a makeup artist for Vasantham. I'm like, not anymore. But, it's just something that she believes.
Makeup artist for Vasantham. How much did? Okay. Very curious to
It's so little. It's so little.
because I always see makeup artists and I have this perception that they are making a lot of money there. Is it like that for TV productions and stuff?
I think it matters the clients you get because the budget depends on the clients.
So the bigger the celebrity, the more
The more money you
the
get.
more money you get.
So like, let's say one of my clients is actually OCBC, and I get like a fair amount of money from doing commercials with them, and it's for like 8 hours of work, and you can earn a lot of money.
Give us a range if it's possible.
About let's say if you do 2 to 3, 12 hours of work, you can get over 1,000 plus just for that work.
Where was the school again?
And for commercial as well, commercial and fashion shoots, you can earn up to like 1K a day. But in TV production, especially the local scene, is really a small percentage. You're getting less than 500, less than 300 sometimes, which is like so little money. I don't know how people survive. I don't know how I survived, but now I don't do that anymore.
I think it's a journey. You have to go through that to
Oh, absolutely. I think it gains a lot of experience. Like I think without it, I wouldn't have gotten to where I am today. It's a lot of working hard, doing 16-hour to 24-hour work shifts, getting peanuts, but the experience, the credentials that you get is unmatched.
it molds you into a much stronger
Definitely. I think
makeup artist.
as a makeup artist, I'm pretty hardcore on sets now. Like most clients pass out on sets because it's like too hot or like it's too uncomfortable. I'm just like, yo, it's fine. It's just a hot day.
Weak.
Yeah, weak.
Oh, quite interesting. Okay, I think we'll come to the other part, which we didn't include in the intro actually. You are also a plus size model.
Yeah.
So talking about plus size model, right? Like my experience is, I think it didn't start very long ago, right? It was quite recent, right? The whole plus size modeling community and stuff.
Are you talking about for me or just in general?
Like in general, was it a thing from last time or?
It's always been there.
Mhm.
It's always been there. I mean, it's been there
Locally?
since I was locally, not so much.
Okay.
I think if we're talking about locally, it really started maybe around 2019, 2020.
Yeah, it was during the
COVID period
yeah.
is where it started happening. That's finally the time that I launched the Body Within as well, which is why it skyrocketed pretty fast, because that specific time people were talking about inclusivity, the conversations about being representative and having diversity in brands was coming up a lot. So people were more onto talking about that topic.
Okay,
So
interesting.
how was it like your first time on the runway? Before that, you went through some audition or something, right?
Yes. So my first runway I did just about 2 years ago. And interestingly, they gave me the biggest opportunity, which was to open the entire show. So I was the first person to walk in the whole thing, which was like, I think one of the biggest things. I don't think it's something that anyone can just get. And so when I did walk, I could hear people saying, "Oh, what?" I could hear people saying that while I was walking. I was like, this is so hilarious. Well, I'm just gonna do my walk. And the funniest thing was my outfit. I was literally wrapped in scarves.
Okay.
Like in colorful scarves. There's nothing apart from people just tying me in scarves.
So the production chose for you.
Yes, the designers chose for me.
Okay.
And it was so interesting. It was such an experience, because I think people remember they saw a plus size woman opening a show for a runway, and it was going to be all over the press, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience, and it was something that really taught me that diversity is possible if you just put a little bit more effort to include these people in your spaces. Because that small inclusion creates an impact, and you just don't realize it until you do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember how it I mean, I wouldn't say it took us by storm, but many of us were surprised. Like all our online stores, they started having this category as well, like plus size clothing, or for like larger sizes. They started having that, and they made it very, they made it very known that it is there, like it's existing now.
Yeah.
So I think that's how it kind of normalized.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because in the past, when you look at someone who wants to do modeling, there is this natural thought process that that person has got to be of this figure,
Have to be tall.
athletic for men,
Yeah.
athletic,
The hourglass figure.
hourglass.
Yeah.
I never see.
No, it's absolutely
I
true.
mean, yeah, it's true.
absolutely Yeah. And they have to be also fair skinned. That is
Yes,
another
that
thing.
was another thing.
Yeah.
So now I think we have broken down all that
Absolutely.
barriers,
Yeah.
and it's quite great. Talking about modeling,
Mm.
how do you go about your shoots and stuff? Like, do you get approached very often, or did it also take you a long time before you could break into it?
I think I'm still trying to break into it.
Okay.
I don't think it's a space where it's very inclusive yet. I think especially in an Asian country, it's a lot harder. And I think that I just get invited to spaces because I know people. The funniest thing is that this is like, if you don't know these people, you are not going to get invited to the space. You have to constantly put yourself out there. And that was one aspect as a model that I learned. And going for shoots and stuff is very rare because of my body size. A lot of these brands don't cater to the proper fitting as well.
Okay.
So they immediately, when they talk about plus size, right, they always think that it's an extension. It's just expanding the normal size range, which is absolutely wrong. You don't see somebody who's bigger who look like a giant. They're not taller. They're not lankier. Like, they're not 170 cm, right? So you have to kind of adjust like according to their height and according to their body proportions. And people's body proportions are so different. So how are you going to cater to all of that? But a lot of brands fail on that aspect. So I don't get modeling jobs often, which is why I don't do it often. I only do it on times where I get opportunities where they are talking about diversity, and I do it for the sake of the body within. It's just to spread a message. And so I have an upcoming runway on 1st June, and that is also a runway for diversity. It's all about, it's called Fashion for All. So it's just everyone just it being more included, different sizes, different heights, different skin colors, everything. So that's how I kind of navigate myself through these spaces. It's mostly to spread a message rather than just going out there, just walking and just shooting and then nothing comes out of it. It's really to spread a message.
So how did your mother react to it?
She's a Vasantham makeup artist and model.
The funniest thing is I've done a bit of lingerie shoots and also swimwear. And one swimwear campaign that I did ended up on the billboards. So it got a bit of attraction as like people are just like, okay, this is plus size girl in the middle of Orchard, like there. And so when my mom saw it, she was like, what are you doing? This is so... And apparently like all my siblings and everyone was just like commenting about it. But I'm just like, all of you stop.
All of you shut up.
Are you paying my bills? Are you paying? You're not paying my bills, so you cannot say anything. And I think I was very headstrong on it. I don't think anyone could change my mind about this thing because I knew that this is to spread a message. This is not just to like pose and be like, Vogue, no, this is to really just say, hey, people like me should be included in these spaces. I don't have to lose weight to be considered a model. That's an important message that I want to send out.
That's right.
I really admire your courage.
Thank you.
I think it takes a lot
to
come out there and say that I deserve to be included also. We are the kind of people where if someone doesn't even call us for a meetup, we will feel offended.
Right.
And be like, okay, I'm not gonna bother with anything like this anymore. In that kind of mindset, it's very tough. But to have so much of courage to say that I'm doing what I'm doing and this is how I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
And no matter what you say, you're not paying me.
Yeah.
This is what puts food on my table. I will continue doing it. I think it takes a lot of courage, and we got to give it to you for that.
Thank you.
Anyway, I also want to touch on your TikTok videos.
Yeah,
where you do some
another
vlogs,
courageous egg also.
you do some vlogs, right? Like wherever you go, and I see you also do long distance cycling.
Yes,
Is that a hobby or passion or something?
It is a passion. It's a love-hate relationship. I can currently long distance cycle up to 30 kilometers. And
that's like from Jurong to Changi.
Yeah.
Quite, I'm not too sure.
Hey, I'm coming from Changi. Changi to here was 31 kilometers.
So it's about there. So,
wow. Okay.
So it's a passion. It's something that I found that I really enjoyed, and I don't hate too much. I hate it a little bit because it's exhausting. Because you're not there for like 1 hour. You're there for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours of just constant cycling in the heat.
Yeah.
And so it's really exhausting. But this Sunday, I'm doing my first cycling marathon. So that's going to be the biggest milestone hit so far.
Cycling marathon will be 100 over kilometers? Or?
Oh, this one is just 20 kilometers. So it's a walk in the park for me, I hope.
All the best. All the best to you.
Thank you.
So talking about TikTok videos, right? I also saw, apart from your vlogs, right? I saw sometimes you give out messages.
Yeah.
Yep. So I saw these 2 videos, which is actually quite. Let me talk about the videos now. The first video, right? You mentioned something like having I mean, you just turned 27, right?
Yeah.
So you have certain goals that you haven't reached. Like for example, you are still single, you're not married yet, and all that. Then I saw another video. You're talking about having a child-free life.
Yeah.
Like, if you are emotionally or financially unstable, it's
Yeah.
better not to have a child or not to get married.
Absolutely.
What you got to say about that?
Wow, this one like press already.
I love it. I love it. I love this question because recently I've gone into a whole frenzy about this whole thing because it's I think it's a very controversial thing to say. I think a lot of people were also personally asking me like, what made you want to do this? Like most people want to have kids, want to have a family,
Yes.
want to settle down. I'm like, I'm really not into that lifestyle.
Okay.
I just at a very young age, I was one of my roles as when I was a child was to take care of my nieces and nephews at a very young age. And I think that kind of took away that need to be a mother now because I really parented a lot at a very young age. And
Okay.
and I think that because of that, I have zero interest in having a kid now. It just doesn't excite me. I think people have this like instinct of like, I want to have a child. It's so exciting. My child is my dog. I have a dog. I adopted her, and I feel like this is the child I gave birth to. That is enough for me. And I think when it comes to the whole conversation about child free, I think my personal thoughts on it is that I think to be a parent is a very big responsibility.
Yep.
I think people don't realize how big of a responsibility it is. At least to the people who are my age and I talk to about this, they're like, oh, having child is like it's not that bad. It's quite easy actually. I'm like, you are a liar. Let me just tell you that. Like that's a lie. And I think they don't understand how much of trauma you can put on a child, how much of ignorance can happen in this space when you're a mother. So I think is very selfish, especially to people who are out there just like, I want a child because I want somebody to take care of me when I'm older. I'm like, this is the worst thing you could do. Like, if you think your child is an investment for your life, that is super. I feel like that's terrible to me.
So what if, let's say, a Prince Charming coming into your life,
Okay.
and suddenly he says, let's marry, let's have kids, and all that, let's start a family.
Marry, let's get married.
So what would your take on that?
My take is no, because I think that
I stand by ready.
I love that. That was so ready. My answer is no, because I think with whoever I'm going to be with, I think they need to have an understanding that they might potentially also not live with me. I might just want to have my own place to myself. You can come over like few days, stay, but then get out of my house. Yeah, like I think I would like somebody who has their own personal life to live, and then we share that life together, but not all the time. And it's going to be very hard to find a partner that way. I feel like most people want to do either like a full commitment thing or no commitment at all.
This like full-time single, part-time committed.
Correct. I know it's very screwed up, but it's just, I'm very confident.
I'm not judging. We don't judge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty confident that, I can find somebody like that. I've met a few people who are in that space.
Okay.
And so I think I'm not really worried about not finding a partner. Because personally, I think I'm a fantastic catch. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I think the funniest thing is people just think that I'm going to end up alone. I don't think so. Anyway, so what if I end up alone?
Then again, the same question pops up. Being Indian, your mother will say, they will have a responsibility. You need to marry off my daughter.
I think my mother gave up on me. Like she gave up because I am also openly pansexual.
Okay.
So
What is that? Sorry.
Pansexual means that you're attracted to any gender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Any
So-
gender meaning male, female.
Male, female, and non-binaries.
Okay.
Yeah. So any person basically. Bisexual is male and female. Pansexual is all and anyone in the spectrum.
Oh.
Gender,
okay.
non-genders.
Oh, okay.
So I came out to my mom when I was 20 years old. I told her that I was bi at that time. And she was like, listen,
Bye-bye.
I thought it was going to be that. I thought it was like, bye. This is the end of your story. But she was surprisingly supportive.
Okay.
And she was like, okay, I accept you. You're still my child. So just gonna let it be. But then I moved out. At 19, I already moved out with my girlfriend at that time. And we were living together. And I think that kind of gave her a space to like really just kind of not really think about this because I wasn't at home for her to think about. But then I started getting more involved in her life as a daughter. And then I think that's when she's like, okay, this bisexual thing is like affecting me. She thinks I'm a curse. She thinks she's uncomfortable with me talking about girls. And then she's like, why are you doing this? Why can't you just get a guy? And finally now, I think because I keep repeating these actions of just like kind of seasoning her to this, I'm just like, yeah, you nothing is going to change me. You cannot do anything to change my mindset. So now I can just talk about a girl and I'll be like, what if I get a girlfriend? She's like, okay, yeah, I don't know.
You see.
Yeah, anything already. Wash hands already. I'm at the wash hands part. So mother is not pressuring me to do anything anymore. I told her that I'm my own person. I make my own decisions now. So no marriage, no kids, just one dog.
And
Could be a
part-time
girl.
boyfriend.
Yeah, my part-time.
Anyway, heads off to your mom also because nowadays, right? No. I mean, what I'm saying is nowadays when parents find out their kids having these issues, right? What they do is, they really say bye-bye to their children.
Absolutely. I think I was pretty lucky in this sense. I have a mother who I think just wasn't able to understand the capacity of this thing, but I just let it be lah. I think it's good that we have that relationship, that we know our boundaries within each other. So it's good, but I understand that that not other families are like this. There's families that will disown you and they will not give you a space to live anymore, or they'll not see you as a child anymore, which is unfortunately really sad. And I think that in those spaces, people need a lot of support from the LGBTQ community of feeling safe, feeling good about themselves, not questioning their sexuality because of the hatred that their parents might be giving them.
Very, thank you so much. I think we actually wanted to speak mainly about the plus size modeling.
Yeah.
But
it took a very big
it took a very big turn
From AYE come to PIE.
yeah, from whatever we planned to speak to you initially, we uncovered so many parts.
I mean, that's the beauty of
Definitely.
podcast, right?
Yeah. This is that's the beauty of podcast, and I think this is the beauty of unscripted conversations.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Where we get to share so much and learn so much from the tough club to
From the tough life.
Yeah, to the billboards. Actually, you made it to the billboards, and that is also a big thing,
Thank you.
so many of us walk past Orchard Road and we see so many things there. And
Yeah.
to be on a billboard there, I think it's a huge thing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
so
you guys.
thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
thank you for
me.
coming, and thank you for inspiring a lot of people
Yep.
out there.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. With that, this is Why Like That. There's always two sides to a story.